Hello and welcome back to the Raise Voice series, Your Take. Today I've got a very special guest in me, Kieran, or also known as medwithkiri. He's here today to give us some tips and also to talk about digital presence. So Kieran, would you like to, give us a bit about yourself, what you do, etc.?
Alright, so as he was saying, I'm Kieran, also known as medwithkiri on TikTok. And basically I'm going into my second year of medicine and I study at University College London. So it's located literally right in central London, which is a pretty good location to go to uni. I originally went to Westcliff Boys, so some of you might have known me from there as well, which is in Southend, and that's where I live currently. And just looking forward to this talk, I guess, and see how it goes.
Nice. School might be starting right now, or may have already started, but we're going to go into the first thing, which is like, some people go into sixth form, people go into year 13 or year 11. What advice would you give to people, taking an extra step? To sixth form first, then maybe to uni?
Okay, so in terms of sixth form advice, I feel like you just have to be focused. I feel like everyone talks about, motivation, how do I stop procrastinating? And I believe it's all about goal setting. So as soon as I went into sixth form, I had goals already set in my mind. So overall, I wanted to study medicine. In terms of uni-wise, I was always aiming high after GCSEs. So I had aims to get into Oxbridge or at least a top university. Now, you can say these goals are really ambitious and things like that, but the good thing about ambitious goals are that if you do fall short, so I didn't get into Cambridge, I got into UCL, but I still go to a top university. So I feel like having that mindset ensures that you're still going to do well. And I guess staying focused. So I did a TikTok video actually where I talked about how you get 3 periods in sixth form and suddenly people start to, they start to use them to play blackjack and things like that. Obviously, I don't want to promote that you shouldn't relax. It's perfectly fine to, relax. I want to make that very clear. I'm not saying you should just be studying like a robot, but definitely try and use some of them, because I feel like that really helped me. An hour a day, in fact, it all adds up over the course of a week. And making sure that you start well is very important, I think, for A-levels. We go in with our mind of, A-levels are really difficult. So if we don't, get on top of the work at the start, I feel like it tends to all build up. We start getting into our head that it's so hard. And then it's almost like self-fulfilling prophecy. You think it's so hard, so then you don't work as hard when you're struggling. You just think, it's hard. And then you do worse than you really could have done. So, going in, first of all, with the mindset that you can succeed, but also starting well. When you start well, it gives you motivation, it gives you confidence, which is going to be crucial for when, it gets later in the year, you're starting to get lazy, just to make you keep going and aiming for the top.
100%. Yeah. Because I think with me as well, 100%, when I started, I felt a lot of pressure going to a different school.
Yeah.
And way better school, grammar school. I was like, okay, crap. I was like, I need to get on top from the get-go, because I saw a lot of people who were really smart, but they weren't doing the amount of work that, I thought that I could do. And I was on top. I was doing things that people started doing in year 13 a year earlier. And then that helped me to just do way better in the end. I think if you understand what your techniques are to get the best out of your revision, it helps you out the best as well.
Definitely.
Yeah. So, but we're going to go into a bit about yourself, a bit about your presence, on TikTok or, on Instagram as well. What sort of motivated you to start that? You didn't have to, make a TikTok after doing a lot of things in medicine as well.
So I think, obviously you do have some sort of role model or inspiration. And I feel like within medicine, particularly just medical students, they do tend to be quite creative, and I see a lot of them on social media. One of the biggest ones I used to follow, or I still do follow, is Ali Abdal. He has a really big platform on YouTube, and he actually went to Westcliff, which I found out. So when you've seen someone sort of go through, the exact same route you've gone through, it makes you think there's so many opportunities to have within content creating. But the actual story of my TikTok isn't actually as all well thought out as it seems. So I started off, just making some fun, trying to do some funny little videos. It was actually my friends, and they sort of confronted me and they were like, you've got 4 stars at A-level, you've got really good GCSEs, have you considered, making videos on education? And I had apprehension to do it at first. I thought, if I do this, everyone's going to think all I do is study all day. They're not going to know about my personality, stuff like that. But I just thought, okay, let me just listen to them. So it was the first video that I did on education that just blew up. Like, I woke up and it had like 100k views, and I thought, okay, like, and there's all these questions coming in, like, how did you do this? How did you do that? And then you think, okay, well, I'm kind of lucky this thing has blown up. Like, let me try and, you know, keep growing. Because I think I had like 1k followers in just that day. Obviously, I've grown it now to like over 50k, but at the time, I only had 1k. So I just kept on going, you know, uploading it. And I really actually realized, yeah, there's actually quite a demand, and there's things that people don't know, and I can actually make a difference. I think that's the thing I enjoy the most about my TikTok. So if you look at most of my videos, it's always like a reply to some sort of question. I really like that I actually feel like I'm having an impact on people's education. And not only that, I think one of my biggest motivations for it is, I don't think I've had the typical route to getting top grades. I would say that for a good proportion of secondary school, it's not that I maybe didn't have the ability, but I wasn't focused, and I sort of used to mess about. It was only in year 11 that I actually realised, okay, I can actually get top grades. Also, you know, you can go from just being like a normal student to actually being one of the top, if, you know, you apply yourself correctly. But yeah, that's basically one of the biggest reasons I started the TikTok.
Yeah, I think that links nicely to the next thing, which is like, do you think like the landscape's changing in terms of like, I see a lot more people now who are younger, who are maybe, because of people like you or people on TikTok, who they're just scrolling through, but they see these techniques and how to do well, etc., so accessible. It's almost like a lot more people are getting screwed on a lot more early on. I don't know, I feel like the landscape for like you know, like study tube and stuff like that, and like growing bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. It'll normally be a lot of tutoring going on, a lot of paid thing. You're sort of giving out free tuition. What do you think?
Definitely. It always shocks me when I see people asking like any tips for revision in year 7 or any tips for revision in year 8, and I'm thinking, when I was in that year, I was probably like, I don't even know what I was doing half the time, but I definitely wasn't thinking about revision. That's why I feel like sometimes it can be toxic, because they see people getting these grades, or they see all these revision techniques, and they're thinking, I'm not doing this, I'm in year 7. Like, I recently had someone message me, like, they DM'd me and they were like, oh, I'm in year 10, I'm trying out past papers and I'm just not doing well. But I feel like it's just an understanding that, yes, you're in year 10, that's not the final exam. You don't have to be at the level in year 10. It's more about year 11. And even in year 11 mocks, I did not get 7/9. It was in the actual exam. And it's all a process. So I feel like, yes, we're definitely seeing more people finding out about all these things earlier, which in some ways is good. Obviously, it can be bad sometimes. So it's just about making them understand that, yes, these are the right things to be doing, but if you're not doing it currently, or if you're not quite there, at least you're not doing your exam. They're mocks for a reason.
Plug what? You plug your TikTok handle?
Yeah, so if you haven't seen me on TikTok, it's literally at medwithkiri. So you'll find it, medwithkiri. You see me there.
Thank you guys, thank you for watching. It's been good. Also, we're on TikTok as well, at Raise a Voice. But yeah, if you want to get involved yourself, don't be shy, leave a DM, just say I want to join. We've had it plenty of time before when we don't bite. And yeah, it's been fun having you on, Kiri.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, speak to you all soon.
Right,
no worries.